Hey everyone, I hope you are doing super well. And I thought that I would make a video about the relevance of spirituality in modern day life. I just felt the need to put some light on this because I think that it is overlooked by anyone who is not spiritual, and I think it is perhaps often looked upon as someone who is distancing himself from the world. Quite often, when you become interested in spirituality, it is necessary for you to seek your own alone time to reflect and inspect and to get to know yourself. But that is absolutely worth the effort. And if more people had been willing to do this, I am I'm just thinking that the world would change in a most dramatic way. I think that we are living in a world where the conflict that is seen is reflecting an inner conflict that human beings would, if they were more able to process and visit their own inner life, that they sat down or at least found a way to inspect their emotions and thoughts in a more self-supporting, loving, understanding way, that we that human beings across the board just learned how to love themselves a bit more, which I think is absolutely one of the effects of spirituality, that you discover the lovability of yourself. I truly believe that we would see a world that wasn't so divisive and so conflicted. And I truly hope that more people discover and find themselves in a life situation where it is possible for them to explore spirituality, because it can potentially be a, a way for life on earth to never be the same again. And I really hope that that's going to be the case at some time. So there is something I want to, maybe I should just define how I understand, if I, so that I could just define what spirituality as a word or concept means to me, so that you understand what I'm talking about. But so spirituality is to me the honest attempt at understanding yourself, your mind, the world, your consciousness, using your own direct experience of yourself, of your consciousness. So it is not the same as reading a book, a scientific book about a topic, and acquiring knowledge about a topic. It's more about trying to unveil the architecture of who you are from observing and investigating it directly, just using your awareness. And that is why meditation is often considered like a staple thing to be doing if you are interested in spirituality, that it's come from the big world religions, Buddhism and Hinduism and many others, that in order to spiritually awaken, meditation is, if not necessary, a highly recommended way to do that. So I was feeling the need to provide this argument that we shouldn't be ashamed about the time we put into a spiritual practice, because when we go inwards and learn to observe and witness our feelings, our thoughts, with a loving presence, that will cause these waves of change in the world, because you would no longer be the same person the next time something that would normally trigger anxiety or anger arises, for instance. So if more and more people would find their way into some type of spiritual or contemplative practice to get to know themselves, I'm pretty sure that life on earth would be different. Yeah, and I could also go into that. I like to sometimes division spiritual practice into in discovering what I call the horizontal dimension of life, which is your life experiences, your mind, your personality. You try to investigate into the nature of who you are, but but there is also another dimension which is vertical, and spirituality becomes much more mysterious. But I think that it's a valuable distinction, that when you practice something spiritually, you are trying to get to know who or what you are. And at some point, or maybe at the beginning of this discovery process, you had some experiences that were not easily explained, but deeply profound, yeah, a spiritual experience. And these glimpses of sacredness is what I'm trying to describe here. When we are exploring the vertical dimension of spirituality, we are trying to unveil what cannot be described by words, that cannot be named, but we can use words and thoughts to try to point towards what that type of experience is. We could call it the sacred, the divine, we could call it God, soul, but no matter what you call it, it is exploring parts of what you are, which is not peering inside your thinking mind. So it's outside of the intellectual sphere of your being or consciousness. And it is, yeah, it's difficult to narrow it down, but because it has no borders or limit, but it is the profound and direct experience of the sacred nature of life. And I'm feeling also very tempted to use the word love, because yeah, it absolutely also includes an experience of divine love, or at least it can often do that, be that. And when you have made some experience with this type of, yeah, of the vertical dimension, as I mentioned, it can be a profound way to become a different type of human being. And I think that this love points to what human beings really are, that we have this sacredness that connects us to the world and to each other. I think that once you have touched upon this sacredness, you also become connected to your own sacredness and your own connection to the world, to everything that lives, to everything that will live. And this love, it's not possible to ignore. And I think that the world is ready for a change where there is a love so strong that you just have to create loving communities. I'm sounding like such a hippie, but it's true. Yeah, yeah. I think that was the rant for today. I truly hope that people, human beings, find more and more find the opportunity to discover their own spirituality, because I think everyone has one. And yeah, what is needed is simply to decide to sit down and take a look inside. Yeah, it's not about what you want to find, but it is about what will find you when you open yourself to it. I wish you the best exploring spirituality if you are very new, or if you have been recently exploring spirituality with some interest. Best of luck, and I hope to maybe see you or hear from you, or that we perhaps meet someday. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, and thank you for listening.